This is After Taps, and you're watching the 70.
All right!
95,000 tons.
4.5 acres of sovereign U.S. territory.
This ship is a tip of the spear. Over 4,000
We are called.
We are Carl Vinson. We are Carl Vinson.
What's up, Carl Vinson? I'm Petty Officer Zachary Bell, and welcome back to the 70. All of us took the leap of faith when we signed on the dotted line to wear the uniform. Petty Officer Kevin Harbach introduces us to one sailor who took to the sky for his reenlistment, but saved the leaping for another time.
Meet Machinist Mate First Class Jose Barraza. He is the leading petty officer for Engineering Department's Auxiliary Division's Hydraulic Shop. Now meet Lieutenant Junior Grade Michael Harris, the Maintenance Material Control Officer, or MMCO, for the Helicopter Anti-Submarine Squadron, HS-15. These two sailors have a little more in common than being deployed on America's favorite aircraft carrier.
I re-enlisted for 6 more years today, which would put me right at my 20-year mark.
I was honored that he asked me. I didn't realize he was going to re-enlist in the first place. And when he emailed me and asked me if I would do that, I was like, yeah, of course, that'd be awesome.
And then to right.
Making the choice to re-enlist is something that sailors around the fleet are thinking about and deciding on a daily basis. And for what might be his last re-enlistment, Barraza chose to do it in style.
I've always wanted to be in a helicopter, period. But, you know, the fact that I re-enlisted on a helo, a military helicopter, you know, that made it even more special again, you know. It's just, as a kid, you know, you always want to go on a helicopter, you always want to do things, and today, one of those, you know, I put a check mark on my to-do list.
But why would a ship's company machinist mate pick a squadron MMCO to be his re-enlisting officer? Turns out the two share more than an awesome experience.
And what made it even more special today was that my cousin's husband re-enlisted me. My re-enlisting officer was Lieutenant Harris.
And then when MM1 asked me, it was even more special simply because he's part of my immediate family.
While these two sailors are related and wound up on the same ship by chance, their duties in the Navy are as opposite as night and day.
Well, he's in a higher management position than I am, of course. But
he is, you know, on more of the deck plate level as far as, you know, doing the work, directly supervising folks doing the work.
And even with the difference, within ranks between he and I, we still managed to keep a healthy professional working environment.
You know, we've been around each other in family settings, so we call each other by our first names. You know, it's Tito and he calls me Mike. You know, it's kind of weird.
Like anything else, just gotta just be professional. You're on board the ship. You know, I look at him and he's a lieutenant. I'm a first class, and I respect him that much more.
Putting a new spin on the term Navy family. Reporting for the 70, I'm Petty Officer Kevin Harbach.
Civilian air traffic controllers will tell you they have one of the most stressful jobs around. Now, I have no doubt that's true, but it makes me wonder how they'd feel out here pushing our kind of tin, bringing the world's finest jets back home to a pitching and rolling deck. Petty Officers Tim Hazel and Stephen Hale bring you this 1-minute exposure focusing on Vinson's ACs.
Marshall 102, see at 10, low stage 70.
102, roger, go button 1.
As an air traffic controller, we control the aircraft when they are unable to come in by themselves. All the stress we have is making sure that the aircraft don't collide with each other, making sure they're able to come into the ship. Controllers that are seasoned, the ones that know what they're doing, the pilots will respect and will follow them. It's the controller that sounds squeamish, sounds kind of ifs and ands and buts. That's the one that they don't listen to. You have to have 100% focus, because anything can happen. We're not just controlling our own aircraft. We have other aircraft up in the air, and you have to make sure which ones are yours, making sure you're keeping track of who's where, because a collision can happen instantly if you just lose a second of focus. It gets pretty hectic with all the phone calls and the information that the pilots will tell you over the speakers and the headsets, and yet having to talk to maybe the bridge or meet talk or the ready room. The best day is when all the aircraft are able to come in, that we're able to turn everything off, talk it through, learn our mistakes, and do it all over again the next day. Even better.
There's never been a time in the Navy where it's been more competitive. You need to excel in your rate, get your qualifications, and strive to be the best. Seaman Matthew Harron introduces us to one sailor who's preparing her shipmates for all of the above.
It'll be the easiest thing.
Information Systems Technician First Class Nina Brewington has always been a little stubborn with her naval career. And it's worked for her as she's risen to the rank of First Class Petty Officer.
I was a YN, I cross-rated, and I made IT2 first time up. Then when I was eligible for the test, it took me about 2.5 years, and then I made it.
But Brewington's road to E6 wasn't as easy as it seemed. It took almost 10 years of hard work and dedication to reach the level she's at today.
So I had to open pubs, I had to read, and when I got on board, I actually studied. I actually took the time to study, and it paid off because I made it.
And now that she's made first, she's seeing the bigger picture. She's finding that the most rewarding way to take care of her career is to take care of her sailors.
It's one thing difference between E5 and E6 is when you get to that level, it's not about yourself anymore. It's about what you can do for others. And that's the biggest thing as being a leader. You have to take care of your people, because if you take care of your people, they take care of you, and in the end, a mission is accomplished.
She sees her leadership position as her chance to afford junior sailors the opportunity she never had and give back to those trying to make rank.
What does RIB stand for?
Giving back can be in various ways. Mostly for leaders, it's all about mentoring, and you can mentor anybody at any given time. I've sat down with sailors and I gave them a PowerPoint of, hey, this is different strategies to take in a test.
This is rules of testing. You know how.
And it was through this brand of mentorship that she implemented a new program, giving sailors a new way to prepare for the competition of climbing the Navy ladder.
CVAT is Carl Vinson's advancement team. Basically, it's first classes, some second classes coming together, and concentrating on the BMR. Thing is, if you could do really well on your PMK, do fairly well and really well on your N-rate, more or less you're going to make it.
So in other words, sailors on Carl Vinson no longer need to go on a wild goose chase for their basic military requirements and their professional military knowledge portions of the advancement exams.
So it's just providing people an avenue to get what they need for the upcoming March exam.
With that test right around the corner, and PTS requirements as stiff as they are, Brewington and the Command Advancement Team are doing their part to make sure the sailors willing to put forth the extra effort get the extra help.
People that are close to higher tenure, people that are stressing about making it, I want them to make it. Because I know one thing about the Navy, you know, we have so many programs that are cutting enlisted folks out. And they might be safe if they make rank, you know. So I want that sailor that's putting in that time to study to make it.
Let's hit some Chapter 5, Naval History. Ready?
If you are interested in advancing your career, meet IT1 and her advancement team in the AF Mestex or the CSG1 conference room at 0830 and 1900 on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays.
I want people to know that in the end of the day, I care. I care for them as a sailor. I care for them that their career is progressing, that they are getting the tools that they need. I really do.
Reporting for the 70.
This is going to get y'all ready for that test.
I'm Seaman Matthew Harron.
Hey there, shipmates. Welcome to another edition of Vinson Online. I'm MC2 Stephen Hale, and this is what's happening with Carl Vinson in the world of social media. This week, for photos around the Vinson, we featured AIMD Department's IM4 division as our division of the day. These sailors work on aircraft gear and make sure that that gear is fully operational. Here are a few photos from AIMD's IM4 division. We also posted our latest webisode of Vinson 101, where machinist mate fireman Jonathan Rump showed us how to properly sign yoke. Here's a short look at last week's Vinson 101.
Machinist mate fireman John Rump, and you're watching Vinson 101. Alright, So today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to sign yoke. I've got my yoke card right here. We're going to walk around all these spaces and verify what hatches and scuttles need to be open, and we can let DC Central know which hatches and scuttles are open or closed. So come with me and we'll verify yoke.
On Twitter, we currently have 8,087 followers. We kept your families informed about what's going on with some status updates. We tweeted to your families about the XO taking flight with DCAG and Morale Day. Speaking of Morale Day, we put up a video on Facebook for your families to see all of your smiling faces. The video got 26 comments, and everyone back home was glad to see us get a day to relax.
It's constant movement on board all the time, so to be able to come up here and just hang out for a little while and get some downtime, especially during working hours, is nice.
Having an awesome day. We get to play here on the flight deck. It's awesome. We're having a great time.
We also loaded 53 photos of the birthday meal for the month of January, courtesy of MC2 James Evans and his photographers. S2 put on an awesome dinner, and we were able to let your family members see how you birthday folks celebrated. Speaking of S2, on Saturday, January 28th, we posted a podcast of CS2 Linnell Neely to our Tumblr page, The Talent. He talked with us a little bit about what it's like to feed all these hungry sailors 4 times a day.
Normal day for us would be pretty much run and gun as soon as we come in. Our day starts with nights. You know, nights is a big contribution to our operation. We come in, knock breakfast out. You know, as soon as that's done, we roll right into lunch, and then right after that, we roll right into dinner. It's just, you know, nonstop busy.
The other excitement buzzing around the ship are 2 stories that were posted to Navy.mil. MC3 Rosa Arzola's print story of the Tiger Tails of VAW 125's first all-female flight made national news when it was featured on NBC Nightly News and MSNBC.com. The story alone got 36 comments, was shared 60 times, and got 247 likes on the ship's Facebook page. Lastly, we hosted a memorial FOD walkdown for the handler of the USS Nimitz, CVN 68. MC2 Byron Linder's story of how Carl Vinson honored our shipmate was published on Navy.mil. Lieutenant Commander Regina Mills, who passed away in an automobile accident January 23rd in Gig Harbor, Washington, was the first and only female handler in the United States Navy. So as you can see, we're keeping your family and friends up to speed on everything that's going on around Carl Vinson. Make sure to email when you can, and tell everyone to stay close to Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr. Till next time, I'm MC2 Stephen Hale.
There used to be a 6th dep of ORM, but everyone was too afraid to ask him if they were being safe. He once went to Capitan's mast just to give the CEO some advice. Scholars maintain that he was conceived and born along the equator, thus making him a baby shellback. Oh, sorry, a golden baby shellback. He is the most squared away sailor on the ship.
I do not always deploy, but when I do, I prefer Carl Vinson. Stay salty, my friends.
On January 31st, 1961, Lieutenant Commander Samuel Lee Gravely Jr. became the first African American to command a combat ship, USS Valgate DER 324.
I'm SHSN Shaun Regains, SWAW. I'm a barber on the USS Carl Vinson. How you getting in cut, Chief?
High? No, not high. But just the regular fade, man.
I learned on the job, OJT. Messed some heads up. Got good at it a little bit. I'm still learning today, so. I'm a khaki barber, but a lot of them are conversational.
What's your plans, man?
Go to school.
What kind of paper course you
Taking psychology and child psychology. Most khakis, they come in often. They get used to me, and they know they could come to night shift because that's what time I work. And they know I'm going to give them a good cut. With the operations that we doing, I like to know about it, so I ask. Somebody from operations come up here, I ask them what's going on. When the judge come up, I ask him, did he see my name on the captain's marriage report? How you getting it cut, sir?
Number 1 all the way around. Tapered back.
Gotcha.
Easy day.
Cutting hair is like an art, though. Like, he might like his haircut, but I might see something that I didn't like, but he might love it. Or I might think the haircut is the best haircut I ever gave, but he might not like it. Some of them that don't know me too well, they be nervous. They not too sure about this semen cutting their hair. So I just stay professional and do my job. That's it.
Can you accept a soda or a candy bar or something like that?
I don't know. I would just say, I plead the fifth.
You know what the fifth is?
No. That's a mouth. Show them the mirror.
Right answer, though.
If they like it, which they most of the time they do, even if they write excellent in the book, most of them write excellent or good. I never got nobody's in the barbershop ever got a bad comment in the book.
Did anyone ever write anything negative in the book?
Nah, I don't know what. Like, I wish people would be honest. It wouldn't hurt my feelings. Cutting hair on the USS Carl Vinson, the boat been through a lot, so I'm just happy to be a part of it.
Looks good. Thanks, Mr. Regains.
No problem, sir.
Good job.
Made me feel good. Even though I'm just cutting hair, I'm doing something out to sea on the deployment.
Well, that's it for this edition of the 70. Until next time, I'm Petty Officer Zachary Bell.